Not sure why it took me so long, but I finally pulled the trigger. Today we are reviewing the Harley Benton TE-90FLT. Let's do it. So the reason I said I finally pulled the trigger is simply because I've been looking at this guitar for ages. I've had a number of Harley Bentons in the past, and I've reviewed some of them here. I've reviewed a load of them, but I don't know why. This one has always caught my eye. I've always really liked it. It looks awesome, but there was something about it that never quite clicked. Then they became quite difficult to find, and I think they still are quite difficult to find. If you go on the Thomann website, and I'll put all the links down below, most of the colors are still sold out and they're on back order. So I don't know, I just always skipped it. Then I saw some reviews online, as you do, obviously. I live on YouTube, so I started watching some reviews. Some of them were outstanding. Andy, the Guitar Geek, said it was a fantastic guitar. A lot of reviews, for example, said it was a really great guitar, but then some of them were really bad as well. Microphonic pickups, bad quality control, everything was a bit out of whack, it didn't make much sense. So I don't know, that put me off of it, to be honest. And on this channel, I only review stuff that I like, that I think that you guys will like, and that as a guitar player, as a recording musician in the studio, I will find a use for, and I think is useful and good for you guys as well at home, whatever your level is. Fast forward to a couple weeks ago, I finally said, you know what, I really like this guitar. I've been staring at it on the internet for ages, and I just got it. 2 days later, nice Thomann package arrived, and here it is. I've got to start just by saying the reason this guitar has always caught my eye is just because of the reverse headstock. You guys know I've got Firebirds, I've got a Strat style, everything reverse headstock, because one, I just found they look cool. Jimi Hendrix, that's all I need to say. Two, I actually like the tension on the lower strings better, but slight detail. Some of you may disagree, whatever it is. I just think it looks cool. And I also am a very big telly player, so I really like it. And third of all, I like the idea of Filtertron type pickups. I've got tellies with P90s, I've got tellies with single coils, obviously, but this was a nice change. So that's part of the reason why I decided to go with this. So as soon as the box arrived, first thing I loved about it is the finish. I mean, I'm not crazy about this kind of sandblasted effect. I don't know how they do it, to be honest, but it looks really cool. And it keeps going to the back of the guitar as well. So it's very, very well done. I like the fact that it's a matte finish. It is very, very tactile. Black pickguard looks cool, but mainly it's all about the neck for me. So the neck is a beautiful Canadian maple. It's actually very, very nicely cut. It's got a very comfortable C shape. I love, obviously, the matte finish. It doesn't have any gloss. It's not gooey in any way. It's shaped really nice, very comfortable. Then on top, it has this fingerboard, which is baked sunkai. I guess that's what it's called. Now, I've had to do a bit of research on sunkai. It is a native Indonesian wood, which is used for furniture, which is used in various different ways. It's a sustainable wood. I've got to say, this one is baked, and it is beautiful. The actual kind of marbling on it is really, really nice. I don't know if they all come like this, but this one has these beautiful stripes, and I think it just looks very, very attractive. The fret job, I've got to say, very good as well. There's no sharp ends. It's not rounded in any way, but it's a good fret job. One of the main things I look for when I get a guitar is how well the foundations are built. And for me, an essential part of the foundations is the nut. So if it has a Graphtec nut, that's already 50% of the way there. I love Graphtec nuts. They hold tune. They are my preferred nut. So fantastic to see it. And the nut is cut exceptionally well on this. It's well positioned. It's straight. It's sat perfectly in the groove. Really nice nut. Then at the headstock, you have vintage style tuners, which again, we'll get to the pros and cons of this guitar. These are the WSC Clusen style tuners, and again, I've heard contrasting opinions on these. They don't hold tune. People are going to change them immediately. Look, I don't particularly have an issue with these. On this guitar, I've had no issue. Finishing off, the guitar is made in Indonesia, as you can see, and the finish carries on the headstock. So that's a really nice touch by Harley Benton. Moving down to the body, again, we have a Sunkai body. And obviously this is the first guitar I have with a Sunkai body, so I can't really compare it to any other ones. But look, it's got a decent weight to it. It feels nice and solid. It's very pleasant to touch. I can't really comment on it, but it seems to be a mediumly hard wood and seems okay. It actually plays quite nicely acoustically as well. It's nice and resonant. It's decent. In terms of pieces of wood, you can't really tell from the top because obviously they've done some magical business on top. But I think this is a 3-piece, which is fine. There's a centerpiece and the 2 wings added to it. Look, I've got no issue with how many pieces this is. Moving quickly to the pickups, these are Roswell Filtertron style pickups. They just say Roswell 5157940, whatever the hell that means. They look cool. They look pretty good. They are directly mounted in the wood, which is really, really cool. It has a nice black pickguard, single volume, single tone. It almost has that kind of Billy Gibbons vibe to it, which is really cool with these knobs. Very, very cool. And then one of the things that really caught my eye as well is, again, the WSC bridge with a really cool design, which I'm not sure I've ever seen on Harley Benton's before. What's really nice about it, and I'll do a close-up of this, is that it's rounded. So it is really, really comfortable to place your hand if that's the way you play, because you have this comfort bit here. So very, very comfortable bridge. Again, string through body, typical Telly style. Everything looks very nice. So enough talking, let's move on to some of the sound samples. And after that, we can go over my thoughts and the pros and cons of this guitar. I am going to plug in straight into my Friedman IRX, then going into my audio interface and record it in Reaper. All we have is a little bit of reverb in the post, but no post EQ, nothing like that. Start with a fairly clean sound, not too sparkly clean, but a just kind of neutral sound on the Friedman clean channel. So I've got to say, at least on the bridge pickup, it actually sounds really quite sparkly. It's really nice. It's got a really nice separation on the high strings. Very, very nice. It's not as piercing, I guess, as a normal telly bridge pickup, but it still has, I think, a bit of that country twang to it. So really nice bridge pickup. I've got to say, these Filtertrons are quite nice. Moving to the middle position. Let's move to the neck pickup. What's really nice about this neck pickup actually is that, again, it doesn't have that thing that we generally dislike about neck pickups, that it becomes quite muddy and you can't hear the high string separation. In this case, it's really, really nice. You can hear all the separate strings. It's got nice separation. It's really nice. Okay, so we're now on channel 2 of the Friedman. So typical Friedman kind of dirt. I don't have the gain that high. It's more or less halfway there. So it's not super gainy. But one thing that I've got to immediately say is these pickups aren't very hot. So they don't have that kind of humbucker power that pushes the amp, whatever amp you're using. So they are low output. And so you can immediately tell when you're going especially into a distorted amp. Guys, I hope you enjoyed those sound samples. I think this guitar is loads of fun to play. I actually really, really like it. But before we just talk about some of the pros and cons, I've just got to say it right now. If you like high gain, if you like metal, if you like chugging, if you're into that style of music, do not get this guitar unless you change the pickups, because this guitar is definitely not for that. This guitar is fantastic for blues, rock, even a bit of jazz, alternative rock. But if you have to kind of go into that real modern metal or even heavier style, this is not going to do it, because these pickups are made for something else. So having said that, let's go through the pros and cons. First of all, I've got to say, I love the way it looks. I really like it. It might not be your taste, but I think it looks killer. I like the reverse headstock. It looks wise, top marks for me. I really like the finish in terms of the hardware. I actually think it's very decent. The bridge is fantastic. Great intonation. The bridge is very, very comfortable. It's obviously a string through, so it has all the benefits of being a string through, but it's got the individual saddles, so you can intonate really easily, but most importantly, it is incredibly comfortable. So I really like it. The electronics, very good as well. That's one of the points where usually Harley Benton, like other brands, skimp out, save money, is the electronics. On the last two Harley Benton guitars that I've reviewed, I've got to say the Mosrite style one and this one, the electronics, even the taper, has been really solid. Very, very good. I don't know if Harley Benton are maybe upping their game in terms of electronics, but very, very cool. I really like them. Then obviously we've got to talk about the pickups, and the pickups are very nice. If you like the Filtertron style, if you like the low output style pickup, if you like a pickup which is in no way, dark or too mid-focused, it has a really nice balance and it has a really nice definition of the high notes. I really like these pickups. Being completely honest, I generally do not like Roswell pickups. I really originally disliked their humbuckers. I much prefer the Telsa humbuckers, I think, that come with some of the Harley Bentons. So I'm not a Roswell fan, but these ones are fantastic. Well done, Roswell, because these Filtertrons are really, really good. However, there's always a however in life. This here really annoys me. So as you can see, hopefully, the screws of the pickup, so to adjust the pickup height into the body, stick out from the actual pickup. And it annoys the shit out of me, especially on the bridge pickup. Because when I'm playing like that, and I'm palm muting these notes, I've got this screw digging into my hand. So if there's only one thing I would change, I don't know, angle the screws differently, do something, but these screws are really annoying when you palm mute. Obviously, it depends how you play. If you play more forward, if you play this, it's not really an issue for me at the neck pickup because I don't really play like that, but mostly I play here and I palm mute. This screw right here is digging into my hand, and I sound like a big wuss, but it's annoying. So the only thing I would change is this. Neck is perfect. The frets are perfect. There's no dead spots. The Tuscana is really good. It's true, the tuners are not the best tuners in the world. They do jump a little bit when you're tuning, so the ratio is not the highest one. But overall, this guitar stays in tune really, really well. So the tuners don't have a negative effect on the tuning of the guitar. So I've got to say, I've honestly tuned this guitar a couple times in 2 weeks. It's rock solid, and I think it's this bridge and this nut more than the tuners up here. But it is rock solid tuning. So overall, taking into perspective that this is what, 170 bucks? Or you can get it for cheaper if you buy a B stock. Again, guys, by the way, this is a B stock. It was fantastically set up from the start. I don't know if Thomann does a special setup on B stocks when they get them back in, but the setup, intonation was fine, everything was perfect. So don't overlook the B stocks. For 170 bucks new, this is a really good guitar. If you like the look of it, And if that's the kind of music you're playing, I don't think you can buy a better guitar than this for 170 bucks. If this is your style of music, wow, this is a fantastic guitar. I would gig with this. I will record with it. I don't see anything wrong with it. Maybe, yes, if you wanted to change the tuners, but except for that, wow. You could, even as a mod project, change the pickups if that's not your thing. But it's a solid guitar for 170 bucks. I really, really like it. I like the material. I like the vibe it gives out. Solid as anything. So well done, Harley Benton, because this is a really rocking guitar. I really like it. I'm really happy that I pulled the trigger on it. Maybe I just got a really good one, but top quality guitar. Well done, Harley Benton. So as usual, guys, let me know what you think. I hope you enjoyed this video. Do you guys have this guitar? Do you play it? What do you think? I think it's one of the unbeatable ones for the money. Definitely one of the best Harleys I've ever played. As always, thank you so much for watching. I really, really appreciate it. Keep watching. Watch some of my other videos if you can. It costs you nothing. And enjoy yourself. Keep playing guitar. Shoot me a message or an email if you've got some requests for new videos. Let me know and I'll get it done for you. Peace out, people. Be nice to each other and see you later.